Hi, John Spark here from Your Travel Planners, and you're probably wondering, based on the title of this, Ben Cousins, Drugs and Traffic. What on earth is a travel agent doing talking about Ben Cousins, drugs and traffic? Okay, a good question. Let me just start off by saying, if you've seen the documentary from the last 2 nights, I'm sure it's impacted you one way or the other. Either you're polarised towards it or you're polarised away from it. Personally, I found it quite an amazing program and kept me pretty much riveted the whole time. I feel for not only Ben and his family, but of course anybody who's gone through this, and we've had close family friends and friends whose families have been affected by the impact of drugs. I didn't want to talk about that so much. I wanted to talk about how does travel, or how could travel help people in this situation. And it's my experience that one of the great benefits of travel is that it brings families together if it's planned properly. I personally have used it to help communicate with my son, and for those of you who don't know, I actually separated from my son's mother when he was 2.5 years of age, and he never lived with me. And I'm proud to say that I consider I've got a fantastic relationship with my son, who's now 30 years of age. A lot of that I put down to the fact that we were able to travel away on ski trips, fishing trips, visiting family in New Zealand, and camping, and just doing things away from our home environment, and probably as importantly away from his normal sphere of influence from his friends. And I think that can be important, because when children get to their teenage years particularly, they're at a point where their mates and friends become incredibly important to them. And you know, most of us old parents here, we get grey haired, and if we don't get grey haired, we start getting it through them and our worries. And we get that because, you know, in the eyes of the children, we don't understand them. You know, they're probably right to a certain degree. Even though we've lived a childhood, they are living a different one of us with the way technology is. I mean, look at me, I'm in front of a video, for goodness sake, talking to you. But that's not the point. The point I'm making is that travel, I believe, can be an incredible vehicle to help you, to help open up lines of communication with your children. And while I don't for 1 minute believe it's going to stop anybody becoming, creating or getting a drug problem, it may help you though to understand your child and be a better support mechanism, which I thought was one of the clear messages that came out of Brian Cousins, Ben's father, last night. It's very, very important that you learn to communicate and do have open lines of communication. And you know, hopefully that doesn't mean just because you disagree and you can't communicate. I mean, we all go through that. So what I wanted to share with you is how perhaps you can even use travel long before the child or your children get to a point where drugs are even an issue. And here's what I would like to share with you. How about considering next time you go on a holiday, that you plan your holiday with your children, and they can be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years of age, whatever age at all, and sit down and use Google Earth, Wikipedia, and create like a travel diary, and allow each child to have the benefit or the right to plan a few hours or even a whole day of your trip, where you as a family agree to do whatever they want. Once they've researched it and prepare you for it, then you're in a position to listen to them. You have to communicate with them, and it becomes a family holiday. It doesn't just become the parents doing stuff for the children, or the children being pampered the whole time by the parents. And I think if you agree with some boundaries, what the parameters will be, for instance, to say, right, on the Tuesday afternoon it's going to be little Johnny's turn to plan it, and that could be going to a theme park, it could be going to the movies, it could be going and fishing, I don't know, it could be doing anything at all. But once you research where you'll be and your destinations, it's up to them to pick something, and you can even add a little bit of spice to it. And actually leave it and say, right, well, we're not even going to share what each other's going to be asking the rest of the family to do until we get on our trip, like after the first day. You can only need to select which day is going to be whose. So one day's Monday, somebody's Tuesday, somebody's Wednesday, and you might be really, really surprised on how this gets you all working together, or gets you thinking together, and more importantly, learning to understand why is something important. Then, here's the icing on the cake in my opinion, you create a family diary. So each day, that person is responsible for recording the whole day's activity in their words, and they can use their own photos. You can insert it into a PDF. I've even seen one that's been created where a diary was created first of all with general statistics put together by the family of what to expect on a historical basis or points of interest. Then somebody filled in the parts of the day as they saw the day and inserted a couple of photos. Then this was produced into a PDF and then finally taken to a printer and printed into a beautiful coffee table hard copy. What a fantastic gift to share with family or friends, or our uncles and aunties or grandparents who couldn't make it on the trip. And the best part is you're going to get everybody's perspective. So there you go, there's a suggestion that I feel very passionate about. I believe after watching the Ben Cousins documentary in the last 2 nights that it could, I'm not saying it will, but it just could increase the lines of communication with you and your family. So there's something to think about next time you're planning a holiday. So this is John Spark from Your Travel Planners saying, remember, without your travel planner, you are on your own. Thank you.